Alright, right now in the 5 series, we're going to look at 5 jazz records on the Atlantic label that I love, okay? On the Atlantic label. We haven't touched on this label yet. Ornette Coleman, free jazz collective improvisation by the Ornette Coleman Double Quartet. He followed up the groundbreaking The Shape of Jazz to Come with this album, which is a free-spirited, freewheeling, free jazz record, one long continuous take, and it's just an epic record to dive into. All right, it might take you a couple of takes, but once it clicks, and he just expanded on his vision and doubled down and delivered with, you know, Charlie Hayden is on his record, Charlie Hayden's on bass, Don Cherry's on trumpet. It's just an epic record. Free jazz, brilliant record. You need to get into it. Kind of a quiet taste, but it's an important record. John Coltrane, my favourite things. This may have been his biggest hit. It crossed him over to a more pop audience, I guess. But it's John Coltrane on soprano, saxophone, doing a beautiful rendition of my favourite things. And there's other tracks on here. His version of Summertime is also sublime. And this is a great record. It's an important record. It's a record that you probably know. Next up is Max Roach, one of my favourite drummers. There's a holy trinity of drummers to me. There's Max Roach, there's Elvin Jones, and there's Art Blakey, right? And I love them all, but Max Roach kind of gets a nod because he looks like my late father. So that's why I have a soft spot for Max Roach. But anyway, this is hard bop at its finest with like these 15 to 20 minute interludes, if that's the right phrase, of Max Roach flexing his well-regarded, not well-regarded, his widely celebrated and legendary drumming skills on this album. It's just a great album. He's recorded many classic albums. I'm just highlighting this album because it's on Atlantic, it's on drums, one of my favorite instruments that I love to get into, and it's Max Roach, who looks like my dad. Another one that's hard to pronounce, Pithecanthropus erectus, Charles Mingus. This is a mood of a record. It's famously inspired Tribe Called Quest's Low End Theory cover, and it is an ambitious record, and it just delivers. It's deep, and you dive into it. It has it has themes. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to describe this record except it's one long continuous mood, and it takes you somewhere you probably haven't been and you may never go to again. The great Charles Mingus on bass. Also, another thing about that record, he gave the musicians the instructions on what to do. There was no music written down, which lends to the tightrope quality of that record. Anyway, Forest Flower, Charles Lloyd at Monterey. This is a great live recording, a great live session. Charles Lloyd with a young Jack DeJohnette on drums, and Keith Jarrett is on this record too. It's just sophisticated, ambitious, driven jazz, and it's a beautiful live recording. It's a celebrated live recording, and my favorite track on this is probably Sorcery. So 5 albums on the Atlantic label, 5 jazz albums on the Atlantic label that I love. Hi-Fi Recluse, Good Fine Records. Let's go.